Am I the only one that thinks a 50-year mortgage is too short? 50 years is really not that long when you think about it. You know, obviously the 15-year, the 30-year mortgage is the staple. It is. It is the staple. But now, due to an unforeseen accidental market increase, a lot of people, for some reason, cannot afford homes. Now, I can't relate to this because I own 35 homes. But yeah, a lot of people can't afford a home, which is odd. So rather than fixing the problem, they are extending the time that you would have to pay back. So essentially how it works, and this has been a saying for quite a long time, the bank will own you. Well, the bank used to own you for 15 years. The bank used to own you for 30 years. Now, the bank is introducing the 50-year mortgage, which means they'll just owe you for 50 years, which is insane. Let's say you got a house at 30. That's pretty young for today's standards, especially for first-time home buyers. You got a home at 30. You would be paying that off until you were 80. So basically, from the time that you're an adult to the time you died, the bank owns you. Now, me personally, I don't see a problem with this. The banks are nice people. They'll treat you right. I think that like I said, I think 50 years is too short. I think they should introduce baby mortgages. Baby mortgages. What is a baby mortgage? A baby mortgage means that when you are born, you are immediately given the keys to an estate, to a beautiful home. You are immediately given the keys to a beautiful home. And you have a lifelong mortgage, like a 90-year mortgage. Now, obviously as a baby, you can't pay that. So they'll probably, defer the payments until you're about 10 or 11. Then on your 10th or 11th or 12th birthday, then the payments become due and you start paying monthly for your home. I think this is reasonable. I think it's very reasonable. In fact, I think we should be giving more mortgages to kids. I feel like kids aren't treated very fairly. I think that, kids kind of get a bad rap. It's ageism. Ageism. That's what it is. Basically, ageism was invented by boomers because, they got slow and their cognitive functions declined and they started getting fired or passed up for promotions. So they started complaining to these companies that, that's what's going on. But the exact same thing is happening for younger people too. Now, what I mean by that is if a 10-year-old walks into a bank, they are not going to be able to get a mortgage. Why? Simply based on the fact that they are 10. If that is not ageism, I don't know what is. So what is it? Is it no discrimination based on age or no discrimination based on age if you are 80 years old? It's not very fair. It's not very fair. And so this whole 50-year mortgage thing is like a pathetic peace offering. A pathetic peace offering. The market is completely fucked. Most people will never afford a home. We don't need 50-year mortgages. We need 100-year mortgages. We like paying the bank. That's what the banks don't understand. The banks think that we hate paying them. We love paying them. I wish I could pay the bank for no reason. The fact that I have to go out and get a mortgage in order to pay the bank frightens me. If I could get a tax deduction for charity, I would gladly donate a portion of my income to Wells Fargo. Gladly. They deserve it. They do good work. And so, yeah, I think 50-year mortgages are a bad idea. I don't think you should get one. I think you should speak to your branch and look into a minimum of 75 years. I mean, the way I see it, they should offer 250-year mortgages, and then that way your entire bloodline can just live in the same home. You know, why is it fair? How is it fair that you have to pay for your home that your kids live in for free and their grandkids live in for free? That's total bullshit. If you're going to get a mortgage, you should get it for 250 years, and then you just pay the mortgage while you're living there. If you pay the home off in 10 years and then you die at 70 years old, well, you just paid all that money for no reason. You could have gone and bought a car you couldn't afford for $2,000 a month. Does that make sense? So yeah, I think we should look more into mortgage options. I think a 75 is a good idea. I think a 250 is probably the best you can get. A 250-year mortgage is what we should shoot for. And I think we should give babies mortgages. I mean, babies deserve a place to live. Don't all humans deserve a home? Isn't like a shelter a human right? Like shelter, food, clothing, water. These are human rights. Babies are human. So what's going on? Where are the homes for the babies? Where are they? So think about that. Think about that. And if you're in the market for a home, you know, it doesn't hurt to ask. Doesn't hurt to ask. Just ask the loan officer, hey, I was watching this YouTube video and this guy said that I could ask for a 250-year mortgage and see what they say. I swear to God, if this becomes the new thing, somehow, that'll be insane. I called it. But think on that. Maybe I'll go out and purchase a home this weekend. I don't know. I'll think about it. So thank you for listening, and I will see you tomorrow.